I'm a partner in an educational business that's going to do 10 and quite realistically $20 million this year, and I run client success side of it. And I want to give you an honest version of what that's actually like, not just the highlight reel. I'm not going to disclose which business it is, but I'll tell you exactly what are the things that I've learned, not only running it, but also building it to that part, all the good sides and the bad sides. And to be clear, I didn't start this company. It came as a partner to scale it. And when my company started working with it, it was at around $50,000 per month. And in about 18 months, we took it to 1.5 million a month. So I watched the whole growth from the inside, and almost none of it is what people online think it is. If you like those type of videos, click a like button and let's get into it. Before we get into all those things, a little bit of context or where I'm speaking from. So my title is Director of Client Success and I'm a partner in the revenue. So I basically run the client success side, the supporting, the hiring, and I'm deep in how we deliver results. And I'm also help with acquisition and overall strategy of the business. The reason that matters for this video is that I sit in part of the business that most people ignore, which is the backend delivery and the retention. And from that, you see the truth of this business and is it healthy or is it just looks healthy and is just like a castle built on sand. So let's talk about real numbers, because this is probably where most people only imagine things. People assume an education business is pure profit, and it's not. It is really great margins, but it is really not all margins. So our margin is around 50 to, if we cut out all of random things, it would probably be around 70%. Good, but nowhere near the 90% people imagine when they hear about like digital products and things like that. We also sell a lot of agency services, which helps with retention, but it's not as incredible as selling just the digital products on itself. And we do a lot of implementation to lower the refunds and things like that. So here's where money actually goes, which surprises people. The single biggest expense is the sales team, right? We pay around 17% of revenue to that. Delivery is about 15%, refunds about 5%. We spend anywhere between $60,000 to $100,000 on ads, and another 50,000 a month or something like that on content. So the team is 35 people, closer to 50 if you count contractors or some agencies that we work with and stuff like that, and it's fully remote. So that's a big company with a real like payroll overhead and everything. And if you do some things wrong, you will have very thin managers. So we really are trying to protect it and make it really good. Here's the biggest thing people get wrong about businesses doing over $1 million a month. They assume there is some secret, that all those companies have it figured out. Honestly, this is just not true. A huge amount of it is just simply volume of outreach, volume of videos posted, webinars run, emails sent, offers made, and we're not doing something magical. What we to really nail down is our messaging, our offer, and quite frankly, a lot of the content side is also done very well. So a lot of basics done really well, compounded with product market fit. And a lot of the times when you scale a business, it will hit some plateau just because some other thing is lagging and the person is focusing on that. For example, when we started, the business was thinking that we need to do more marketing, we need to spend more on ads, do more things, but quite frankly, the business had a big issue with sales team. So we fixed things on sales team, which enable us to have enough profit margin, have enough like productivity left to be put towards marketing so we could grow it a little bit more, and then something else broke. That's how we were kind of scaling it. And now the biggest single lesson I've taken from all of this, and I mean the biggest, is get people who've done it before, right? So the business looks completely different at 50K per month, 300, 1.5 million and beyond. And the thing that lets you climb from one to another is people, and specifically leaders that done it before, because those are just lessons, and once you go through it, it is way easier to go through it again. Like I've seen this growth quite a few times now, so it was relatively easy for me to spot some like, okay, we need to create a support department here, we need to create emails here, do this, do that, and then it just worked. But if you've never done it, it's really hard to figure out yourself. However, once you pass a couple $100,000 a month, you finally have the capital to hire people who've genuinely been there, done that. And it's one of the biggest powers in business, and most people wait too long to use it, or when they hire people, they try to boss them around and tell them how to run their business. And honest reason is we scaled so fast as we did because we brought it through leaders, outside agencies who've already built this before. that was big difference. Not some funnel hack, even though we did a lot of funnel hacks. But on the flip side of it, we run it with very few leaders on purpose, because too many cooks is how you slow business down. So we right now have, I think, 4 people that really ran those departments before, and we just built them in, and they just worked. And it was really incredible. However, getting the compensation right and finding them and convincing them to work on our business was the hard part of all of this. So hire somebody who not only worked in your industry, but solved this problem at this size of your company, and actually would be excited to keep pushing it and keep growing it. And the payout needs to be substantial enough for this person to actually be excited for it. And another thing that runs against what the industry preaches, which is my second lesson from this, is your product is your best marketing. So we close more deals than our competitors consistently, and it's mostly not because of that we have better closers, even though we do. It is because our delivery and our promises are substantially better, and we can back them up, right? Our time to deliver is faster, our refund rate is lower, our dispute rate is pretty much non-existent right now. And here's the kicker, we actually advertise those things. Almost nobody in a space does that because, 1, they probably don't track it. 2, if they would track it, it would suck. So we can put like average salesperson and they still do well. And if we a really good one, they just crush it. Because the offer underneath them is simply so much stronger than anything else on the market. This is the whole game. Like the best offers win, and somebody who can spend the most to acquire a client will win long term, but you have to actually deliver on it. So why would it be any other way? Another thing that's really helped us scale is we ramped up the volume of webinars, and we ramped up the volume of YouTube videos and content in general. Right now, we're posting long-form videos almost every single day, and we're posting across all of social media. I think it's like 30 to 50 times per week. And that is quite substantial. And most people just simply can't do it, or if they do it, the quality drops, and it's the consistency and the volume that compounds to something that just competitors are not going to do. Volume of high quality content, high quality creative on the ads, great salespeople, great product, great delivery, and showing up for that and getting people who've done it, who've done that level of growth before. This is what created the growth that we had in such a short period of time. And if you find this breakdown useful, hit subscribe button, because I go deep on client success and backend side that nobody really does in this industry. And now, let's talk about running this type of a department in 2026, because it is a little bit different than how it was in 2018 or 2020, when some of the big marketers like Sam Owens or Alex Becker were, scaling. So cost per lead used to be so low that you could be really sloppy with your marketing, with your messaging, and still print on great margins. And you can't really do it anymore, right? Like your sales team needs to also be way smarter how they position things and how they diffuse objection and release tensions. Something like we use a technique called NAPQ, never emotional persuasion questions, instead of just like steamrolling like a Grant Cardone technique, because I don't think it just works as well as it used to. We also do a lot of things on our show up rate. We give away a lot of the lead magnets for people to join the webinar, or to join the sales call, or to buy, right? And we have those one-time offers that are rolling all the time. On AI, because that's a very hot topic, we use it with a very specific places, and we really try to not have a shiny object syndrome on how we are allocating our time there. So we use it for tracking and reporting, editing our videos, drafting messages for client success team. That's a really incredible one, because it's a tool, but we don't use it for strategy as much as maybe other people. So here's my take on, is it even possible to start an educational business right now from scratch? I would say, of course it is. However, it is way harder than it was just a few years ago. And if you're not doing it already, scaling it right now, it may be easier, but starting it is harder if you don't have those advantages. Products now matter. Now backend revenue also matters, and you can't really do everything just with acquisition, right? However, because of that, now you have huge amount of great talent without company to work for. So you can get great talent at really great prices. So if you have an opportunity to do that, a lot of the times is just going to make you way more money. If you watch the trainings on this channel, you will be able to get those people, activate them well, and they will deliver value to the company and to your clients super fast. People assume like businesses of this size that are doing 8 figures are just going to be there and they're bulletproof, and it couldn't be further from the truth. A lot of the times, like the one ad account ban, I've seen my competitors do that. It got them from like 800, 900k per month all the way down to 100k per month, and that just can happen, right? And the way to make it durable is you stop relying on front-end deals. Of course, you have backup ad accounts. You also have diversified ways to get clients, but most of us are going to be on Meta. Just that's how info is sold right now. And however, if you build a real brand through a lot of content and you create a great community and sell those clients for back-end deals, you can have not the best months on front end and still do very well. This is one of the reasons why we are able to keep scaling and also keep the churn of salespeople low or pretty much non-existent, because they knew that if they sold somebody, they would hear from them again, excited that they are making great progress. Next is having strong referrals, partners, and organic content all really help. When you've got all of this, a marketing hiccup doesn't kill you, because clients come from many directions and revenue comes from many places. That diversification is exactly what we're building this year, right? Because the biggest reasons $10 million businesses last, what other grow up, is truly client success, right? We deliver better results and our clients stay longer. Maybe you've seen some businesses in some industries like trading or even e-com that just don't really deliver best results to clients. And in few years, hey, maybe the founder made some money, but it just feels weird running that type of a business where clients don't really get anything. And it's kind of like a fugazi business, right? And the ones that explode usually had great marketing and leaky backend, or quite frankly, they just had like some random course that was really overpriced. So to keep this balanced, on a personal level, I'll be honest here, I really enjoyed building this apartment and fixing things one thing after another, and going from sales to marketing to client success to creating a strong community, referrals, data tracking, hiring, building a delivery system for, some of our done for you features. That was the fun part, right? And I'll do it again in a heartbeat. However, for people that don't enjoy building companies, they just like client acquisition, they just like sales and marketing, probably it's better to stay at the range of like 100 to 300k per month. Enjoy a really nice life. Your clients probably will not have the best results, but they will still get decent ones, just because the size is not that much and you can service them and you can stay more as like a creator, an artist. But if you're really planning to scale, you have to turn it into a real business. And real business means real responsibilities, a lot of people, and sometimes you have politics, culture issues, some people like your ad accounts bans, getting kicked off of the payment processing platforms, or even not being able to have the best margins one month because you got your money locked up like we did with some of the payment processors. So if you just like to do the acquisition, the fun side, you can just don't really scale the type of a business because it comes at a lot of costs. But if you do focus on it, really scale it. And the thing is, as you scale the business to, an 800k million per month and beyond, you will slowly start to be perceived, and also you can start to think of yourself less as like an educational business, but you will have some delivery components, maybe some events components, maybe some components of software, and you can start to branch out of education, which a lot of people in this industry really want. And that's what we are planning to do, to kind of like polish and make it standardized this year, improve the community, improve client results, and after that, scale beyond just info. Because info is great, we love info, it makes great money, great margins, but you can't really sell it, you can't really exit it, you can't really, there are very few people in this industry that were actually able to scale it above, million to 3 million per month. Nothing wrong with those numbers, great numbers, but if you're planning to be a big entrepreneur, which is somebody who makes at least like 100 million per year, maybe like few hundred, it's not really possible. And also, as they say, they will still want to be making like YouTube videos when you're like 50. Well, some people do, but a lot of us don't. So if you have that type of a desire, I would say you have to get the things right, get the right people in the right seats, as they say in one of the books, and take it very seriously. Treat it as a business, not just an offer, as they say. Do the branding, do the community building, and then turn it into a real business. So if you take anything from the reality of running a business like this, so if you enjoyed this video and you're curious about how I build those offers, how I run the departments, or anything that I mentioned in those videos, you can check out one of my other videos where I cover that. See you in the next one.